Hello, all of you. This side Anurag. I'm the Senior Client Success and Learning Manager at BMN Capital. And today we are here on the briefing for the last day of this week, that is the 20th of March. So today we are going to conduct this briefing in a different manner. First, we try to understand the charts, right? Because lot of noises has been created and lot of confusions have been created. First, we understand the technical part, right? So we'll give majority of time in understanding the charts, and then we go to the economic calendar of the last week, right? And then try to understand that at what point of time the important or the crucial levels on the chart would be going to test and how we are going to grab those opportunity. So without wasting time, let's start today's day. So first and the foremost is the gold chart, right? So first we'll have a look on a H4 time frame. So this is the flow. So we'll first understand the bigger time frame and then we discuss that thing either in a smaller time frame, that is on H1, or into 15 minutes. If H1 is very clear, so we'll continue with H1. If H1 is giving us lot of noises, then we go to more shorter period to understand the swings of the market. So let's start. Okay, so over here we have the gold chart for the 4 hour, right? So we have seen that there has been a very sharp fall into the prices, and we have seen a three black crow formation over here, right? And this is a small fair value gap which has been created because of this imbalance, and we have seen that the after giving a very good exhaustion in the candle, prices have again gained the strength toward the upside, and this is the second time they are, almost the third time they are penetrating this fair value gap. So the probability that today they are going to make a V formation, right? So V bottom they are going to make, and which is an indication that in the upcoming weeks we might see that the gold prices recover, right? Now, what is the reason why this kind of exhaustion happens, right? So it's our duty to understand that whether any kind of demand zone is being located at this point of time or not. So for this, we need to scroll our charts back and try to see. So first, I'm going to mark this by the red line over here, right? So focus this. And this is 4502, right? And 4500 is the psychological mark. So let me scroll the chart back and try to see whether we are having any kind of support located at this point or not, right? So let me scroll it. So over here we have this, right? This formation and this strong wick, right? So let me mark this also, right? This low point. So now from 45 to 4399, right? 4502 to 4399, which is almost 4400, right? So almost 100 points of zone I can easily identify over here, right? Yes. So over here I have the consolidations also. Now, just to be more clear, let me switch to a daily time frame so we can see lot of information, right? So see over here and just focus on this area, right? So over here we have a small fair value gap, right? This I'm talking about, which is not mitigated. And see, right now, yesterday we have seen the test of this zone, right? And this is the lowest point, right, of this swing, right? So this is my zone from where I can see the exhaustion. So yes, this area is going to act as a strong support or resistance. And see this candle also. This is the previous month, right? When we have seen that all of a sudden the prices have fallen after making the all-time high, right? And they have tested this zone. So just wait here, and now we know that here very strong demand zone has been situated, and that is the reason we have seen a reversal into the prices towards the upside. Now let's come to the smaller time frame, right? And try to understand that any intraday opportunity we can identify. So first we are going to mark the important liquidity zones or the important support or resistance areas, right? So without any confusion, I can see that this is the swing point on which the gold prices are heading right now, right? And this is the lower swing point, right? So if prices breaks this area, right? And by break means that prices should give me a close above this area, then again came back to this zone, retested, and then again if they continue to go up, then it's a confirmation that this zone have been completed and I can take trades into the direction of the current moment, right? Current moment, and I can go with the current momentum. Second scenario is that prices might test this area, and in the very next candle, we'll see price action that will push the prices back into the zone, and they'll come between this zone, right? And again, we have a sideways movement, right? Although it's Friday, so there is high probability that this might happen that just before the US session, prices might give us a sideways consolidation, and then we'll have a breakout. So this is the thing which is being conveyed by the technical charts which for the gold. Right now, let's try to see that what indicators are telling us. Right, so over here I have used the RSI 7 and 5. You can use any, and I have taken the high and low parameters for this. Now see, both the indicators have tested the OBOT area, and almost 5.61 is the lowest point which have been made by the RSI. And then again in this impulsive movement, both the RSI of the seven period also and the 5 period also have been went up and came into the OBOT area, right? Which is an indication that buyers have given lot of strength to push the prices upwards, right? So high probability that from this zone of 4735 or 4750, mark this, probability of a sideways movement or a small dip is very promising. So wait for that corrections to happen, and after that take the decisions, right? And if again in that dip RSI, both the period RSI fail to go below the 50 levels, and instead of going below the 50 level, they'll make a U-turn from here, right? U-turn from here. So it's a confirmation that the momentum is going to continue and we can take the buy call, right? And high probability that on Monday also we'll see the upside movement. Now come to the silver, right? So for the silver, first we'll see the H1 time frame and then we'll go to the 15-minute time frame. Two reasons. One, the movement is quite volatile. If I see the deviation value or the ATR value is quite high in silver, right? So if we trade on a H1 time frame, we have to keep very big SLs of 100 pips, 200 pips in silver, and right now it's very normal. So same kind of price action we have seen, right? And yesterday we have discussed that I have drawn this trend line, prices have breaked it, and right now they are coming back. Then we have taken this swing points and tried to identify the zones till which zone I can expect the prices to go down. So here are my Fibonacci extensions levels, which you can see prices have tested it, and I've given the arrow that prices will come again and take the support from this trend line, right? So they have tested it, and then in the very next candle, market have respected our theory, and then they have a given us a bounce, right, towards the upside. So let me remove this and make the chart more clear to give you an idea. So this projection have been completed. Now we need to see. Now see this. A strong impulsive movement, then a correction. Very perfect. Now I can place my Fibonacci expansion just to identify that how much movement I can expect into the prices of silver, right? And surprisingly, the support, right, the previous support which we have drawn by these two red lines, right, have been broken, then price fall, and my Fibonacci extension 61.8 is also overlapping in the same zone. So the probability is quite high that the silver prices might test this level toward the upside. So I've given the arrow in the projections. So I don't think that for 15 minutes, for a smaller time frame, we need to check anything. But then too, let's go to the 15-minute time frame and try to find a very good trading point, right? So in this 15 minutes, so this is the 15 minutes which I've drawn, right? Prices have tested it by giving a very strong two candles, and in this candle, the prices have given the close, then again came back, retested it. So this would be a very good area, right? If you find prices giving you a correction in this, then it is also good. And if you take an aggressive call right now, then also it is good, but you have to keep a very big SL in that case. Or otherwise, wait for this momentum to be slower and for sure you'll have a correction, right? And the probability of that correction would come from these two areas, right? We have these two fractal points over here. This will act as a resistance, and a short term correction into the prices will come, right? And the probability that that correction would come at this area, right? And this area is located at 73.25, right? So if you find prices coming back at this area, that will be the point from where you can think of creating your buy positions by keeping your stop losses below the previous swing point. So this is for the silver. Now come to the US oil. But before moving to US oil, just let's have a look on the RSI, right? So RSI is my main thing. Every time I take my second confirmation from the RSI, and the second indicator which I've used is the moving averages of 17, right? You can use the band of 17 also. That means 17 on high, 17 on low, and you'll have a band also, right? Now you see that my 17 moving average is also pointing upwards. So the probability that the bull side momentum is quite impressive, and we can rely on that. Now, let's have a look on the US oil. So, this is yesterday, right? Because we've been discussing into the H1. We have seen, we have given the projection that there will be a spike into the prices toward the upside, right? Which happens. Then again, prices came back down. Then again, a sideways movement. Then again, they try to go up. Then again, there is a fall into the prices, and just focus on this area, right? Let me change the color because we have used the deviation channel over here. So I'll making it blue. So just focus on this blue area right now, right? And see within this channel continuously still the prices are being trading, and see how well they are respecting it. See this exhaustion in the candle, right? Again, prices have tried to go down but failed to take the low, and again they are having a U-turn, right? But remember this, that this is the area where lot of SLs are going to rest, right? Which have been tested already. But yes, now you have to, if you really want to take any position into the energy, because we have Saturday and Sunday and anything can happen in terms of geopolitical events. So if you create a buy call, you can place two buy calls, right? One buy limit from the low of this candle, because if prices try to hunt the stop losses, all of a sudden there is a liquidity sweep thing happens, and lot of momentum will come into the picture, and prices again will get a strength toward the upside. So this is one scenario which is going to happen. Second, this is the swing point which have been made by the prices. If prices go above it, you can take the buy call. Okay. Now let's have a look on a 15-minute time frame to I want to show you something more interesting, right? So over here, this is the start of the consolidation. So this dotted line represent the first swing points of the liquidity contraction, right? So I've connected it, and this is the apex over which I've drawn this line, right? Which act as a support or resistance. And see what happens next. Prices again move sideways, and again they've been rejected from this area after testing this area, right? So this is an indication that this apex is working as a perfect magnetic area. Then I taken this swing points and this swing points because we have new consolidation within the range of the previous candle. So I've drawn another symmetrical triangle. So this is the extension of any pattern, right? So we have seen the extension, and see same at the same point, this is also giving me the apex, second confirmation that this area is a very important. Now what happens, all of a sudden there is a fake breakout towards the upside. Then again prices came back, broken this area, came back down, retested it, and then again went back, right? So this is the area which is at 95.99, right? Will be a very strong resistance right now. So whatever price movement you see, that they are making kind of a broadening waist pattern on a 15-minute time frame. High, low, higher, lower, low, higher, lower, low. This is broadening wedge, right? Just to be very clean, right? Let me just give you the idea that this is the broadening wedge pattern over here, which is being forming, right? So in whichever direction, if you trade, your stop losses is going to hunt, right? And we need, so this is a general rule of thumb, and everybody knows through Google that there will be three touches or four touches, right? Which have been done already. So high probability that you'll see a spike into the prices toward the upside. So if you want, you can catch that. Prices will go up, that will be a fake breakout, because we have seen after the consolidation prices have breaked it, then again they will try to go back, and this area, this lines which I've drawn, will act as a strong resistance area, and the probability of a fall in prices toward the downside is very, very high. So this is for the oil. Right now things are quite clear. Now move on to the natural gas, right? Because natural gas is that asset class which is being impacted the most by the geopolitical events, especially the US Iran tension, right? So, like Qatar, they don't have electricity, and there is very big oil, gas reserves, right, which have been on the target of Iran. Now, see, prices have went down. Yesterday, we have drawn a descending trend line with the light green line which I've drawn. Prices have breaked it, right? Then yesterday, the retest, we have talked about the retest at that point of time. It is making kind of an indecision candle which you call the doji candle. That doji have been converted into the US session because we have the natural gas stock change data, and see the prices went down, right? Today also the probability is quite there, because still this trend line have not been tested, so still there is probability that it might test this area, and then all of a sudden there will be a reversal into the prices toward the upside is quite high, right? The confirmation would come that on Monday, instead of going down, prices come back and take the high of the Fridays, right? Friday's candle, right? Whatever is the high of today, if that is taken, you'll get the confirmation that you can take the buy call toward the upside. The profit booking have been done. So this is when the price is moving sideways and within a specific price band, it is called a time correction. So the time correction have been completed, and see this Bollinger Band. Continuously right now prices are trading at the Bollinger Band. That means even the market is waiting for any event to happen. That is the reason there is no clear direction into the market. So for intraday, natural gas is not the right asset class to trade. But yes, in the upcoming days or in the upcoming week, we'll find very good movement happening into the natural gas price. And I don't want any of the viewer of this video to miss that opportunity. Now let's move on to the GBP USD. So see this GBP USD yesterday, prices have taken this low, right? Went down, okay? And instead of giving me a close, all of a sudden spike into the prices. That means it is an indication, and we have the pending home sales data and all for the US, right? So on this data, USD is getting weaker, and we have lot of data of Bank of England and GBP also, right? We have bond auctions also, and see the surprised the market, and see the GBP become stronger. Same is the case with Euro USD also, right? See this, all of a sudden the prices are stronger, so it is an indication that dollar is getting weaker. That is the reason GBP is strong, euro is strong, gold is strong, silver is strong, and see oil is also getting weaker, and again that is also putting pressure on the dollar. Now what happens, prices went up, very good exhaustion into the candle, and that is a pin bar formation we have seen. Right now see the next sell side momentum, lot of candle have tried to push the prices downwards. This trend line which I've drawn, right, have been disturbed by this imbalance, right? All of a sudden prices went down, again came back, and again they are respecting the older trend line, right? So I'm not saying that you need to rely on that, but they have came back into the same trajectory of this trend which they have started, right? This trajectory, right? They have disturbed this trajectory over here, make the double bottom formation, and those who know the harmonic pattern formations, a very strong butterfly formation have been done. And see this, prices went up, they have taken the correction, high probability of a sideways move, and then this is a pole, and this will be the either the flag pattern or a pennant pattern, which is a bullish continuation, and then we'll have a breakout towards the upside, right? So it is very promising. Let's have a look on the Euro USD into the H4 time frame. See a very strong downtrend movement. Prices try to go up, right? Then again came back down. So I've drawn this trend line yesterday, right? By connecting the dots. This trend line have been broken. Lot of liquidity which is resting below the point number two have been taken, and then there is a continuation, right? So in this case, I need to revise my trend line and see I'm getting a sideways movement. So the probability of a sideways movement is there. If you see three strong green candles and three weak red candles, it is telling me that the sellers are not that strong, right? So after a sideways movement, they will clear this direction, right? The next important area I've marked over here, right? They will face a little bit of resistance at that this point, which is at 1.1648 and 1.1668, right? So from here, there will be an impulsive movement, then a sideways movement, and then there will be a test of this area, because over here we have the order block also, and we have the imbalance, or you call the fair value gap also, right? So the probability of the prices to go up is quite high. Okay. Quick look on the USD CHF. Yesterday we have seen that this is the trend line which have been broken. Prices again try to go up, then again been rejected because dollar is getting weaker, and see the prices have been fall. But this exhaustion is creating lot of confusions, right? So whatever time frame which we are seeing is not the right time frame if you're trading into the USD CHF. So we need to switch to smaller time frame just to understand that what exactly happening. So see a strong fall, now a pin bar formation, right? You can also call a hammer formations, right? Inverted hammer formations over here. Okay, and then prices are try to move upwards, right? After making this pin bar, which is a sign of exhaustion. Very small momentum towards the upside, and again they are indicating that sellers are quite aggressive. We have the engulfing outside vertical formations, right? So high probability that the next 3 hours or next 3 to 4 hours would be sideways. We will not have a clear direction. Either we need a we will have a two strong selling candles, then two small candles towards the green side, and then whatever zone have been made, that is going to be tested after the US session. So we need to see that what kind of data which we are having, right? Now let's move on to the next segment of the report, that is the US 30, which is the indices, right? So this is the daily time frame. Yesterday, we have marked this area, which is at 45758, and we have told our viewers that this area is going to be tested yesterday, and which happens, right? But just after testing this area, all of a sudden there is an sudden spike into the prices. That means prices are getting a very good upthrust in the prices, and we have seen a green candle, which is kind of a spinning candle. Also, a lot of people will see as a doji candle, and it is an indication that prices are getting confused because lot of sentiments are triggered over here, right? Lot of eyes have been tried to identify this pattern. Somebody see is at as a inverted cup and handle, so see this and this rounding top. We have seen somebody see it as a uh, head and shoulder formation, bearish head and shoulder formation. So this is the shoulder, this is the head. Now people are expecting that there will be a spike up, right? And the next arm is going to be made, that is the next shoulder have to be made. So this area, which is 45750 and 758, will is acting as an important neckline area, acting as a pivotal area. Now this is on a daily time frame. Now let's have a look on the H1 time frame. So see this. Lot of market activity happens at this point of time. So let me mark this as a zone, right? So from 4750, right? So 45725 to 474750, right? Over here till here, right? Let me mark this here. Okay. Now see, prices have tested it. Make this as a bottom. Prices went up. Strong exhaustion into the candle. That means there is something which is located over here, which is pushing the prices downwards, right? So till the now, no clear directions, right? Because we have this formations, then again a continuation, and still the market is trading within the range of this candle, right? Let me mark this area, right? Within this. So this would be the last candle, right, from the US session. And within this candle, still buyers and sellers are fighting with each other to push the prices downwards, right? And a simple logic that from here, buyers have pushed the prices upwards, sellers have shown their aggression and pushed the prices downwards. But still, if I combine all these candles and try to make a single candle, so I can see that this is the open of the candle, and right now this is the close. This candle is still still in green, right? And they are covering the exhaustion which they have made. So it is a clear direction that right now the buyers are in control. And if prices are not depicting the same thing which the price action is showing, that means right now very big funds or the large players of the market are accumulating this thing, right? So the probability of a upside break out is quite happen. But yes, as a retail trader, wait for the market to react. Once you get the confirmation, then you take the entry. That will be your conservative approach. And if you are very aggressive, so you have this bullish engulfing pattern, right? And high probability that people will keep their stop losses below the low of this candle or below the low of this candle, right? On we have a balance of fair value gap also. So it's better that you can place your buy limit and wait for the prices to come at this area, right? Then take the buy, right? And if you're not getting any signal and this area has not been tested, wait for the prices to clear this resistance area. This is clear, then take the buy call. And within this range, just watch the market. Now, in the last, we have the BTC USD, right? And I hope I am trying to use those words which can be digested by somebody who is very new to this market and try it, and he'll get the clear picture that what I'm trying to say, and exactly what the market is trying to say to me, and what I am understanding, I'm delivering the same thing to you. Okay. Now over here, see the arrow, the correction. This is the prediction which is being continuously respected by the Bitcoin. This area has been tested. We have a last candle, which is a pin bar, right? Good exhaustion, and prices came back into the gray area, which we have marked. And today we have a strong green candle. So I'm just waiting for this candle, today's candle, to breach the previous day high. That is a confirmation and a start of a new continuation in Bitcoin toward the upside to the level of 80,000 level. Okay. So this is from my side because I've drawn a new trend line by connecting this fractal point, and this fractal. So I have three touches on the trend line, and this is almost the fourth touch, right? If I adjust it by the next candle, right? Over here, right? So this is a perfect trend line which I can see, right? So yes, still the candle is quite small, so that's the reason I'm not taking any decision right now. I need the breach of this area, and once it is done, I have Saturday and Sunday also in Bitcoin, right? So I can make my money on Saturday and Sunday when the market is closed. So if you're not getting confirmation today, don't worry, you'll get this opportunity on Saturday or either on Sunday. So this is going to happen. So this, yes, but this area over here we have an imbalance in this candle. So yes, we need a very strong candle and a quite sideways movement. That means you'll find 2 3 days, right? High probability that Saturday will breach this area, right? Disturb this imbalance, and then the momentum towards the upside is going to start. So on Sunday, high probability you'll see very good movement toward the upside if this area has been cleared. Otherwise, there will be a rejection into the prices. We have a new uh, high and a lower high formations, and trend will going to continue toward the downside, and this happens, will find prices below 50,000 level for Bitcoin, right? But the probability is not that high, right? And not that promising, right? But a thing to worry is that over here we have a high point, right? Just focus on this area, right? And the second point is here, right? This. So we have high and high. If I draw, so this is a high and this is a lower high. Over here we have a high and a higher high formation, right? So this is a classic bearish divergence, right? So to take this confirmation, see this prices have almost come at the pivotal point of this, right? So if you see, compare this point and this point, these are almost equal points, right? See this, right? So over here we have the equal bottoms, and over here we have the low and the higher low. So this is a hidden bullish divergence. This is the thing which is making me very promising that there will be a spike in the prices toward the upside. That means the next day candle would be a green candle, quite high, because of this divergence we'll see a momentum into the prices toward the upside. So that's all from the technical part. Now let's have a very quick look on the economic calendar, that what are the data events we've been waiting for. So just give me a minute, let me share you my screen. Okay, so over here, okay, I hope my screen is visible, right? So, as we have discussed, no important information is into the news, right? Except the oil, right? We have seen that oil slips as supply concerns ease, right? Iran have passed the bill that they will take taxes, collect taxes, and they'll allow the ships to pass the Strait of Hormuz. That is a very relaxing news for the market, and that is the reason prices have corrected the oil, right, to its fair value. Now let's have a look on the calendar. So this is the calendar for the 20th of March. So I'm not going to waste my time on the data which have been already released. Now let's focus on the data which are still pending to be released. So the number one is the at 330, which is the balance of trade for the European currencies, especially, right? Previously it was 12.6 billion, which is in positive. That means they have a surplus budget. If again there is a surplus budget, it is a very good sign for the euro, right? If any country is having surplus, that means their currency is getting stronger. They don't have to pay their currency, right, or sell their currency to buy back any foreign currency to settle their trade. So it's a good sign. If this figure come in positive, euro will get strength, right? Then for Russia, we have the interest rate decision, so we need to have and keep an eye on this, right? Because directly indirectly Russia is poking US, and he is the second bloc of the world, right? So we need to see that what kind of interest rate decision they are going to take, right? Then we have the CBI industrial trends order. So we need to see this because we have discussed the GBP USD also, right? So we need to see that continuously it is in negative figures. We want to see the improvement. So from minus 28, if it becomes minus 21 also, right? So it is a good sign that it is improving, but it is getting worse. Then in that case, GBP USD, the movement which we have identified, so the sideways movement is going to continue. Then at 5 p.m. It is just an indicator that how the central banks are reacting to the current situation. So we have the Indian foreign exchange reserve data, and right now India is playing a very important role. So we need to see that how they are reacting, right? Because we have seen the FOMC decision, they haven't cut any interest rate. So what kind of changes this decision will bring in the foreign exchange reserve of India? So this will give us lot of insight. If you want more detail, so comment me in the YouTube section. I'll share you that how and what is the outcome of this data and how to interpret the foreign exchange reserve data of any country, which will help you in taking the trading decisions, especially in Forex and in precious metals. Now moving on to the US session. So for the Canada, we have continuous lots of data from the housing pricing index to retail sales, PPI, raw materials, right? So the simple thing is that lot of turbulence will come at 6 p.m. because we have lot of data. Every data needs some time to digest. That means at 6 p.m. this data is going to react. So after the release of this data, wait for 30 minutes. You will see the real action after the 30 minutes, right? In Canadian pairs, right? And in especially in oil also. So we need to see this. Then in the last, we have the Baker Hughes oil rig count, right? So we need to see that how many rigs right now are in working, are producing oil. So if the number is getting lesser by very aggressive figures, then there will be a challenge that that much oil production is not there, demand is high, so price will get support from here. If lot of rigs are right now working and the rig count is very high, that means lot of production is going on. There is no issue in supply, especially of the US oil. So this is the data which is going to impact the US oil. And in the last, we have the European Council. The time is not very exact, but tentative around 11:30. This meeting is going to happen, and this is the meeting which is happening at the last of the Friday, which is going to impact the market. And at 11:30 we have the release of commitment of traders data, which will give us that in the current fall of gold, who have booked their profit, who have created new positions, what is the reason of this fall, who is right now buying, right? So everything will be cleared at 11:30. If you want more detail on the commitment of trade report data, that what we have identified, comment me, message us, so we'll give you the exact cheat code that how to understand the commitment of trade report data. So that's all for my side. I hope you enjoyed today's briefing session, and this session will help you in taking the right trading decisions for today. So this side, Anurag, your friend, wishes you a great trading day and a great weekend ahead. I request and I thank you all of you for attending these sessions, and request all of you to kindly leave the meet room, and those who have watched us through the YouTube, I would like to hear from you that what kind of modifications we can do into our briefing sessions which will be beneficial for you. Till the time, stay tuned for more updates like this. Thank you, guys. Thank you.